Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining me tonight on the video. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I've been saying this quite a lot this week, but I am going to try and keep it relatively brief, just a little bite-sized one tonight. So we're basically calling this not getting attached to the green. Okay, so you'll probably understand what I mean by that quite easily. So the football index this week has went through a nice period of growth, in terms of the overall footy. It's been going up by good numbers every day, and across the board, especially in the squad player section, there's been tons of great movement, not just from our portfolio, but I'm sure yours as well, because there's been a lot of growth as the deposit, or the net buys bonus is getting closer and closer to an end. I believe we're 1 week away now from a tweet I seen from the official FI account yesterday or today. So with that in mind, guys, and like I said in the previous video before, I want to make sure that I can advise you as best I can, and I say advise quite loosely, but I do expect, like I said to you before, some movements dramatically the day after, and I don't think that's rocket science really, the day after the net buys dividend bonus comes to an end. But with your portfolio probably looking very similar to mine, very healthy, lots of green, lots of good positions, there will be some positions that you've got into a great situation of profit, and there might not be too much of an explanation around why they've recently popped up, and I can't really speak for too many. I can't know about every player on Football Index, but I certainly have a little ring of players, obviously in my portfolio, that I'm very well versed in, as well as some other ones that continue to catch the eye. And Gaston Pereiro for me, so I had 200 Pereiro, just to let you understand the whole point of what I'm trying to say to you. I got 200 Pereiro at 55 pence, and there's a good couple of reasons why we bought him, whatever. But the thing that jumped his price up is it was tip of the day, as you see on this little page here. There's always, like, it's maybe not the weekend because the guy probably doesn't work weekends, but the guy Tom that does the YouTube stuff. So his tip of the day, I actually put a tweet out because I was a wee bit shocked by one of them. It was Tierney moving the Arsenal. There's no chance that's happening. But one day it was Gaston Pereiro, okay, and they took a massive pop from 55, 56 pence. It might have been something like 58, yeah. It went right the way up to 71 pence, 72. And when you're holding somebody like that for profit, you're not holding them for any other reason. You're buying somebody because you see them at a great price and you think they're too good to not buy them now because of how cheap they are and for what they offer. When you do get a massive surge, and we're sitting at 20% profit on them now, so I can't remember the exact figure when it was 72 pence it was at. You guys will probably be able to work it out for me. Probably a bit closer to, it wouldn't have been too far off the 50% mark. Then you've got to accept that that's a great time to accept profit, is to sell them and move on, because we can get attached to players far too easily because, you just get attached to it. It's football, it's the same with anything, it's why you support your local team, it's why you like this certain player even though he's not perfect, when you watch football, you like the style of them, whatever it is. So again, in your portfolio, you will become attached to some players and you'll look at them, especially having like 200 of someone who is jumped up, let's just call it 35% or whatever, for a 24-hour period. It's really difficult. So for sometimes, no matter how long you're on the index, but especially when you're newer, to see that as the time as an opportunity to sell some, at least, if not close the position altogether. It all depends, and that's basically what we're doing with this. And I just want to make a little video just to highlight to you, as soon as you do that, you need to identify, right, this is a nice time to take some money out, because it's not profit until it comes back into your personal bank account, okay? So, but with the net buys thing on the go, we've bought him in this phase, so selling him and then buying somebody else, it just extenuates the dividend that's on offer for us. So while we've been selling them, we've been picking up some Leipzig defenders. We've got one more to add in. We're going to try and get some Hasselnberg as well. It's a wee bit more expensive than these two, with probably our Kiana Hoover money whenever we move that on. So we're doing it with a deliberate strategy in mind, so when you sell somebody and you don't know where you want to put that money next or who you want to buy next specifically, then it can be even more difficult to sell that player, okay? Now, we call this small portfolio trading, okay? And the reason that, or a probably nice encompassing way to think of a small portfolio is if you do not have the financial ability at the drop of a hat to deposit what you would call a significant portion of money to buy somebody who you see a potential in on the index, okay? If you don't have that ability, then you will need to buy and sell, okay? And you can't own shares of everyone. I seen a a post, I think it was on Facebook, maybe on Twitter, but a guy was showing us his portfolio and he was like, I don't know how to, I can't stop buying different players. And he had like 2 of this one, 15 of that one of him, 21 of him, you know, and it was literally like, it must have been something like 500 players, and it was just so widespread. And you need to get that into your psyche that you can't own everyone and you can't own someone forever either. So it's accepting that that's a great opportunity to take some profit, and then what other strategies am I running, or what strategy have I been thinking about starting up? Well, I'm going to take this profit and cycle it into that, or am I going to make a withdrawal? You know, am I going to take that money out, put it in my pocket and go and enjoy it, guys? Okay, so it's just a little kind of nudge from me today. Just don't get too attached to all the green and don't think, right, okay, because there is other opportunities out there, and as soon as one bubble is popping, there's another one ready to come up underneath it, you know. So I do recommend buys like this Gaston Pereiro, where you're buying them pretty cold, you know, emotion wise, and it's just, he's really cheap. There's a good chance he's going to pop up in price, and when he does, I'll take some or all of that money depending on where they go to. And it's just not thinking twice about it. Some of the players, like if you look at, for example, Douglas Luiz or mine, he's been a part of a very long-term strategy, and we've had him in and out the portfolio ever since I've been recording, really, you know. And with the recent jump he's had now, for me personally, my strategy is I do not want to sell him just yet. I'm not too far away from that point, perhaps, depending on how the next kind of weeks and months pan out. But when you get somebody like this who's ridiculously cheap to pop up 50% in price, or and we've been buying more Nicholas Stark with some money as well. Some of the change that we've been getting from selling Gaston Pereiro, we got the first bunch of Pereiro we sold. We got Stark from 174 shares up to 200, and that changed our buy price from 34 to 35 pence. And again, it's not being scared to do that, not being scared to affect the cosmetics, the face value of the portfolio, because it is only the face value. And that's why I don't like when I see people on any, you know, it's not that I don't like it, you know, but when somebody shows you the portfolio and it's like, oh, everyone's all up like hundreds of pounds, it tells you a story. It doesn't tell you everything, guys. You know what is the bread and butter for me is getting that cost section up and up and up without you actually depositing money. That's a great sign of growth, certainly, because if you're buying people when they're cheaper and you're putting more money back out there from your profits, when they then have their cycle, might be a week later, might be 3 months later, whatever, then again you're just continually on that stepping stone situation where you're moving up and up, and sometimes you'll jump between the same players and do that. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to call the video there, guys. Don't be scared to sell somebody who you're on the fence about. Can they go any higher? When I bought this person, would I have accepted 20% growth and to sell half them? Yeah, I would have bit your hand off for it, and you know, and it's just keeping yourself in the loop, because you can blink sometimes, guys, in a situation like that. Like Pereiro, let's say I was rubbing my hands and counting my money. Oh, can't he wait till he's 80 pence? You know, when he was at 72. When I see him moving backwards now, it would really deflate me, you know, as I'm sure it would you as well. You know, 24 hours, look at that. You know what I mean? So you have to identify this when it happens. It's a good time to sell. Well, we started selling them at 70 pence, we started selling them at 72 pence. We got some of them sold at 72, 71. We've been gradually getting 100 of them sold as he's been dropping in price ever so slightly. So we've made decent profit on him, and then to have that money into another position like Stark, that we're really happy to, you know, I can see him having a similar rise to even Conrad Lamer there. You know, him doing that is not out of the question, you know, and even going on beyond that if he gets a Premier League link in a transfer or something. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for tuning into the video tonight. I hope you had a good Father's Day if you're a father, and if you're new around here and you liked what we've chatted about, guys, just subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Like, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.